This lawsuit involves more than a dozen survivors of violence from right across the country who say they've been failed by the justice system. In most cases, their alleged attackers were set free before trial because the clock ran out.
His charter rights mattered more than mine.
Former Toronto resident Kate Alexander has been advocating for an overhaul of the justice system ever since the assault charges against her ex-boyfriend were dropped. She documented some of the abuse and shared graphic images with CityNews from the night she was nearly killed, evidence that would have been used in trial.
Despite dozens of photos during the attack, videos of me begging for my life, medical records, police reports, every charge against my ex was thrown out.
Alexander is among the 14 women who have launched a lawsuit against the Canadian government. It calls for changes to a 2016 Supreme Court ruling known as the Jordan Law that ensures trials are completed within 18 months of charges being laid or 30 months for federal cases.
We have a situation where in our criminal justice system, over half of the cases that the system handles are actually intimate partner violence and sexual assault cases. And hundreds of these cases are now being stayed and dismissed every year.
According to the lawsuit, about a third of intimate partner violence cases are dropped. Lawyer Catherine Marshall is representing the victims and says the lawsuit is calling on the government to take immediate action.
There are certain cases that they should be expedited when you're dealing with dangerous offenders. So we're looking for the government to intervene and actually impose some guidelines on how the Jordan decision should be utilized in the court system, because right now it's being weaponized against victims.
Court delays have been an ongoing issue for many years, and when the pandemic hit, the system slowed to a crawl. Donna Kelway is with the Ontario Crown Attorneys Association, and while she has nothing to do with the lawsuit, she tells me the courts continue to be underfunded for the mounting pressures.
So at the same time that we have a backlog and we have cases that are more complicated to prosecute, more data to receive, review, disclose, and process in terms of getting a matter to trial, we have less time in which to do it in and less time to make sure that cases that need to be or that should be heard on their merits are heard.
Now, the lawsuit is also seeking $15 million in damages for the psychological and financial harms these victims experienced. Shauna Hunt, City News.